Hello, everyone. I'm on here right now doing a live stream if it's actually working. To show you, because Dutch just went on with his premiere right now, and there's like a 7.0 earthquake that happened in Europe, and like you should check him out. I'm gonna have this play for a couple minutes and listen to what it is he's saying. And this has been happening for a while, but he's really good at the earthquakes, and he's helped me understand, like through what he talks about on here and prayer and reading the Bible and everything. I've been able to understand through watching him, and it's just very interesting. And it's he knows what he's talking about. This dude is spot on, and yeah, please just watch this with me for a few minutes. It's it's important. Part off. So,
Yeah, that's the earthquake we're looking for, and it's just a little bit bigger than expected. But I heard about them talking about a volcano here in the Aegean Sea. I don't see it marked here on Google Earth. I sure don't. Don't see it marked, but don't know the name of it. It just reached me this past week that people were talking about potential eruptions in the Aegean Sea, the Greece government.
look at this landmass,
Hellenic
guys.
Seismic Agency, I think is what they're called.
Right there.
So let's just
Sideways. If you
recap
turn
one
it to
more
where the
time.
head's on top,
The
like I
largest
put on my
earthquake in
icon.
years struck in the Aegean Sea.
Reminds me of
USGS
what,
has it listed as Greece, but really those are Turkish Isles. It's right there
that
along
one.
the Turkey border,
Riding on
right
the
there
back
along
of
the
a
shores of
dinosaur.
Turkey. Devastating damage in Turkey. This magnitude might go up or down. They could bring it down into the 6 range or take it up into the low 7, but right now it's at 7.0 exactly. This came from a flow coming out of Europe, out of the Middle East, which then itself came out of the West Pacific, where our deep earthquakes have been hammering in on the underside of the plate. The same movement that caused activity up here in Alaska, the deep 6s, has caused a 7 over at Turkey. We had warned the Isle of Cyprus, and then finally, let's get in here and look at the magnitude list. Look at our technical details origin page. And, oh, they're not showing us how they're coming to their determination. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, let's go to the body magnitude list, which is what I would call the low ball list. Or either of them. Either of them. Well, hold on. Sorry if I coughed into your ear there, guys. Again, I'm still waking up, believe it or not. I just rolled out of bed not too long ago. But going down the list, we're going to throw out the high end, and we're going to throw out the low end. And already I'm seeing at the high end, we have 7.5, 7.3s. We'll take those out of there. So toss out all the 7.3s, 7.4s, and 7.5s. But we'll also toss out the 6.8s, 6.9s. That leaves us with 7 to 7.1 as an average, just between all the stations. Again, when you have this many, and the highest they're going to 7.5, and the lowest they're going to 6.8, we go between them, and that puts it at 7 to 7.1. So it's an amazing thing going on. Again, huge earthquake, biggest in years in Europe, and there's likely some major injuries, unfortunately, on this, guys, and or worse. Now, let me just end this really quick by telling everybody we had some breaking news last night, that's related to seismic, that's not related to this earthquake, but it's just as big of news as this earthquake. And this has to do with the USGS. Let me just end this broadcast by showing it to you on my community page over here on YouTube. October 29, 2020, yesterday. USGS director is being asked to step down by Congress over retaliation against whistleblowers at the agency. And it's just really, really bad what they've got going on at the USGS. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but Connolly in the House, and they're all calling for the USGS guy to step down. Yahoo News is doing stories on it. But the part about this that I want to show you is that the whistleblowers are being called evil by the director of the USGS, and he's moving them around and retaliating against them. We don't know what they were blowing the whistle on, but that's just as big as news as this. Again, USGS director being asked to step down as of yesterday. But this earthquake, not related to that at all. A large earthquake coming in 380 miles from my warned spot, right here. same country. Half of a country, really, so it's half a country's distance. I warned right here in the middle, and it struck right over here on the perimeter. We warned for an upper 5 to low 6, and instead we get an upper 6 to low 7. It's going to spread across Europe, Italy, Romania, and Bosnia, and we should see upper 5s to low 6 all strike. 3 different earthquakes, most likely, strike across Europe in the next few days. And then it's not going to stop there. Those are just the biggest of the bunch. I would then look for upper 4.0 range to strike up here at the coast of Normandy, France, or maybe even going into South UK, Brits, stiff upper lip. That's not going to protect you from the earthquake. So you need to pay attention.
But yeah, this
So
is
watch
like
as this goes across
wing.
Europe.
Here's the
It's
head
going to go
upside
into
down.
South
This
Europe,
would be like his cheekbone.
Eastern Europe,
Horn.
North Europe, and then ultimately it's going to go out to the North Mid-Atlantic Ridge, North Pole, Svalbard, Iceland, Azores, where our X's are. North Pole, Iceland, Azores.
By the way,
All
CERN,
three X's should
CERN
also
is like
see a
right
major
the heart would be
increase
like
in
right,
seismic
right
activity.
in there on the land is
They
where
may
CERN
even
is.
mistake this for a new eruption up in Iceland. They might see that in the news.
Which is causing like the Earth to travail with what they're doing with CERN. The Earth is in labor. It's why all these earthquakes and stuff are happening. All the land masses are moving. It's like God foretold these things would happen. What God's doing out there and like the heavens, it's like causing certain things to happen, and what man is doing here on earth to bring like it's literally going to bring hell upon earth. Like it's going to release pits of hell on earth. That's their ultimate goal. And yeah, this is what's happening because of it.
This week. So this is just go time, guys. This is major go time, seismic go time, and in Europe, no less. That should be a wake-up call for people on the West Coast who are just flirting around and waiting with me, especially, but waiting with the plate for it to break. And for us to see something in the 7 range or greater strike in the Pacific Northwest as a result of the slow slip of our plate in the United States. That still is yet to take place. Alaska moved, right? But that's all we saw. We have not seen any continental United States activity, and that's not enough yet. We will see it. So get ready, hold on to your hats, and if anything else goes down, I'll be back on at a moment's notice. I'm going to save this as a video and upload it over on YouTube as a premiere so people can watch it back. Again, this is just an informational video showing you the earthquake, where it struck,
guys,
what
go
we
check out
warned
his
for
videos
versus
and
what
stuff.
hit,
It's all about the
and
same,
just
like
a
this,
little bit of damage video, or well, not even video, pictures. You guys can go source that stuff. I don't want to be showing all that on my stream unless I have permission from the people who took the pictures. Okay, guys, I'll be back. Peace out, word up, much love. Oh, and finally, don't be scared. Be prepared.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Yes, don't be scared, be prepared. That's something I should say more often, because that's how I feel and I think, but I forget that other people don't hear that often. Let me see here. What did I do? Mess it up again? Well, that just wasn't it. Maybe But yeah, Dutch is awesome. Sometimes he makes me laugh, other times he makes me shake my head. Of course, everybody does that to everybody, no matter, what. I had to come on here, try and do this live, and so we could catch some of that together. So, because it's hard to transfer photos and make slideshows and actually know how to work everything correctly, because I'm not a technological person. I mean, I can find my way around certain things, but when it comes to multitasking with like flipping the back and forth, and I haven't been able to go through to be able to set it up ahead of time or even really know how. My son showed me. I thought I had it, but I still don't. I'm not successful at the presentation of it on that. So exit that out because I don't really need it. But yeah, that's one of the things that's coming as well. It's like when they start rolling it out It's the only way I know how to put it. When they actually decide it's their time to roll it out the way they've even told us they're going to do, only not at the same time. It's like you have to be able to read between the lines, period, to be able to. And then if you read between the lines and it makes sense, it's legit. Like, you can even find fact that comes right from the horse's mouth, but people still, it's like conspiracy. Um, But anyways, yeah, check him out, guys, and watch it. Like, watch the how the earthquakes moving across the earth. I'm not sure when he put that up there, but I just now got it. But 7.0 in Europe, and that's been happening all over the world. And you can go through his videos and watch him and see this been happening. I mean, his gift of what God's doing with the earth and how it works. Like, it's how the earth naturally works, how God created it to work. But with what's happened to it throughout the generations is now, and then the natural alignments of the planets and stuff every so many thousand years, which is a natural occurrence, and God made it natural that way because it's a process that has to take place. You know, like we grow and mature, and the plants on Earth grow and mature. The planet itself has to grow and mature as well, and the way it grows and matures all depends upon how the things evolve that are upon it. And, they use the word evolution. Yeah. Well, what happens to that evolution? Like when it naturally has a place that it takes, like it naturally takes place, created to naturally adapt to its environment. It's the way it was created to do in certain ways, unalienable ways that God, you know, predestinated. But because of the way mankind has decided, because they were given the authority to decide, so they use that given by God as a justification to do heinous things just because they feel that somehow it's justified because of him saying that. Even though deep down they know that that's not what he meant. And it's like CERN over in Switzerland, that landmass, Europe, 7.0, 7 is God's number. 7 is God's number. California, 7. Alaska, 7. Europe, 7. Bet you if you stretch all the land out the way it's supposed to be, like the way God sees it, and you've been seeing the anomalies with the magnetic North Pole there's not really magnetic North Pole that's happening. The anomaly that they're seeing happen that is glowing with this new thing that they created to show something to do with the radiation of the earth, like the way it's absorbing. It's brand new. It was just brought out. Wages has on his channel. He talks about. He actually just showed it because it just came out. He's interesting too. If you like to know about the sun and a little bit about what's going on out there in space and like what happens with the frequencies of the earth and the frequencies that are like known to be happening right now. So I guess you could say, check him out. Wages World. He used to be Blue Kool-Aid, if you ever knew him as that. For he changed his name. But yeah, it's like there's a lot that's gonna happen that's coming. Like I'm not so worried about like my last video that I put up about those clips that we watch. I don't. That's a very sorrowful thing. Something that obviously I was predestined to live during, or I wouldn't be here. But it's kind of like the Lord, when he was praying to God, like, if this cup can pass from me, let it be so. But not my will, but thy will be done. The Lord knew exactly what was coming. He even knew how he was going to die. He just didn't know like exactly what was going to happen when it happened. He just knew it was going to happen. The main key element points of the Lord's life when he was here, God foretold him. He knew. And that's how he was able to live such an amazing life and love God the way he does and did, and the way we are meant to, the way it was all meant to be, the way it was at the beginning, before the fall, which God knew was going to happen because the fall had happened in heaven first with Lucifer and his angels, which are here again. They keep talking about giants returning. Like even people that believe in what God's word says is true, or people that they say they're Christian. They say they're Christian, and they do know some of the Bible, but some of it isn't. That isn't. It's not correct. Like it's like a beguiling nature. Like those, like in the video that I did earlier, had up put up earlier about Halloween and the fact that they're like worshiping the darkness by promoting the satanic rituals of what they call All Hallows Eve. I heard a man claiming to be a Christian on a radio station that I do listen to and I like, but there's some people that they have on there. The things that they say are not of God. And it makes me sad because I want to call into the station and ask him, what in the world were you thinking when you decided it was okay to promote such things, such as Halloween is harmless? It's just kids dressing up in costume and running around and pretending to be little demons or creepy crawly things. And all, it's like, and people have even come out in the public and on mainstream TV, just like in the video, in Pedro's video, like they know it was bred and created in its beginning, in its conception, from the darkness, from paganism, from satanic, ritualistic, Ouija board, voodoo doll stuff that actually is real and does cause death and destruction and harm to all those around them. I mean, how else do you think that we started getting the plagues upon the earth? Well, because we were asking for hell upon earth, but the things that was being done, because it was just evil and wicked, and it bred darkness, which bred said things, and it just, um, the list is endless. But the earth is becoming more active. The sun's becoming more active quicker than anybody said possible. It's starting to open up coronal holes and have flares at the same time. Very, very early, way earlier than it's ever come out of its cycle of what they call the solar minimum. They said it's going to be a grand solar minimum. We're all going to freeze. And they're still trying to say that we're all going to freeze. But what's foretold in the Bible is we're going to burn. Like, a third of the earth is going to burn. It's almost like a third of everything that's ever happened throughout history during major things. Like a third of that is going to happen, but instead of separately, all at the same time. All at the same time. So go throughout history, and there's even things that's going to happen that are not even mentioned and have not been mentioned from God or the Lord that are going to take place that was left from us because, like we read in Revelation, he told him, when the seven thunders uttered their voices, I was about to write, but the angel of the Lord told me not to, or the Lord told me not to, and to bind those things up, for they are set for an appointed time, which is, a long time from now. And I said, in the time of the end, these things will take place. But it never told us what the seven thunders uttered. Never told us. And it's like, I don't think people even realize that most of the time when they read it, is that there was something there that God told him, do not write, that is to be sealed, because those things will take place at the end of days. And it won't be revealed till the very last days. And it's the seven thunders uttered their voices. And it was right after the sixth, or it's like, it's at the end of the, wait, hold up. I'm being told to hold up. I might be getting a little confused here. Anyways, the seven thunders uttered their voices. Go into Revelations and read it yourself. I mean, if you have read the Bible or are interested in Revelations, you probably have already been reading it probably about 7 times by now since all this started, just to see what you could see, because you know if this is the days and I read this and this is talking about right now, God's gonna tell me something. He's gonna reveal something to me because it's right there, black, white, and red, given to us specifically for all time's sake, for the Lord's sake, and even for our sake. So that way, no matter what time we live in, we'll never be lost, we'll never be lonely, we'll never be deceived, we'll never be, well, we're always lied to. But it's, you know what I mean? We will not be veiled to where we see, but we can't perceive. We hear, but we can't understand. You know, we see, but it's like they could hear, but they couldn't perceive. They could see, but they couldn't understand. Or they could hear, they couldn't understand. You know, like they're trying to do. And it's probably why I'm having a hard time remembering those, even though the Lord knows that I know them, because that's what they want. And they'll go after your children if they think that'll get you to do those things, to become those things, to allow those things, because they can't turn back now, because this is it. They have but a short time left. But the Lord is victorious. The Lord is and will always be victorious. No matter what. Can't wait to meet some of you. It's another thing. It's like something keeps hope alive inside me. Because it's like I hope more than I really know, but I do hope that, because some of you, since I've been able to actually get on here and do that this way, because I've done it, friends and family and the people I see face to face, they're the ones that I was telling all this to first. Like, I was face to face with people, but now with everything happening, I'm here, you know, because I'd rather do face to face. That way I know there's somebody there that's somebody there. But God says his word never goes void. So there, I cannot get discouraged. Even if only one other person ever sees this. I do not get discouraged about it, because like when I made that video that was over an hour long and I didn't think it was gonna go up, so I believe I did live and then the video wasn't working. Through all that, I realized that God's word never goes void. He reminded me that. My word never goes void. I told you to do it. You did it. You put it out there. Leave it up to me. I can handle it. You know, it's like you don't need to fret and worry about if something I'm telling you to do is going to actually go somewhere or reach somebody, get shut down or whatnot. It's like, he's like, I'm God. Be still and know that I am God. And the sad part is I was getting that from him before I went live on it. But I did wait a little bit before I decided to get on and tell people, because it's very important. It is urgent. I believe me, I would not be getting on here if I didn't think it was important. You know, I wouldn't be trying so hard and praying hard that God helps me with this, you know, and just hoping and praying to God that even if you don't listen to me, that you at least listen to him, you know, seek him and get to know who your creator is, and make sure that it's your creator, the one that created everything. Not something that you've created that sounds good to you and you follow what it says because it sounds good and it feels good. No. He says, walk by faith and not by sight. The same thing applies to your emotions, really. Walk by faith and not by your emotions. Walk by faith and not by your thought. Walk by faith and, you know, walk by trust in him, and his word is true, no matter how you may feel or what you may think, because of what you may hear all around you, everywhere you turn, like a whirlwind that never ends. And the more you tell it that, you know, you're not gonna join them in the whirlwind. You're not going to join them in the whirlwind, because whirlwinds are destructive. You know, look at the hurricanes in the United States right now. Anybody ever wonder, like, why is California burning? Why is, like, almost half the United States burning? And here soon, Like half the United States can be flooded. Anybody ever asked themselves that, ask God that question? Anybody asked that question? Because I've asked that question because I knew it was coming. Well, the floods have started happening. It started last year. Last year was our warning with the fires and the floods. It was our warning last year, and we didn't repent, and we just let it get even harder, and we started not harder, but let it get even easier for the darkness to just seep and leak in and just be allowed everywhere because they don't want to offend nobody. It's just that's what's scary. That's what's scary is seeing the fact that everybody's okay with what's going on right now. Like Richie from Boston says, it just blows my mind that everybody seems completely okay with the fact that we're being muzzled. We're having every single right God ever gave us as a human being just taken away. We're being attacked, and there are, I do believe, just to clear something up with the, because I've said comments and people take me wrong way all the time. Take me wrong way all the time. That's why I love being face to face with people. And that's why, even though I don't even want people to see my face, I'm willing to put my face on here. So that way, if you ever come face to face with me, you got something to say, you know what I look like. And I'm hoping that if you see me and you understand where I'm coming from, you recognize me because I remember faces. I don't remember names. So if I meet you and you tell me your name 4 times and I don't look at you and say your name 3 times like a weirdo, and I'm not good with names and I do not understand why. I've asked the Lord to help me with it. That's why I look at you and say your name 3 times or while I'm talking to you, some way, somehow, even if I'm doing it in my head, which I don't know. I've heard somebody say it, a Christian, a fellow Christian, one that I feel is a Christian, say that when you say things out loud, it helps you. Like if you're praising God and you do it out loud, even if you're in secret doing it, but you do it out loud, even if it's quiet, it like deters the darkness, which I believe is 100% truth. Just like if you talk about what ifs that could happen, or you get a feeling that something bad's gonna happen, like somebody's gonna wreck or blah blah blah, and you speak that outside, you have the ability to speak life and death into the situation. And I've been witness, and my family members have been witness to things that even me have said, and it's like I wish I could take that back because if I would have known when I said that, like that, what that could actually do, because it's like out of anger, out of frustration, out of things that most of the time we don't really think of because the way things are today and the way we're conditioned and taught, it's like most people don't even realize that your words even have power at all. It's why do you think that they're doing what they're doing out there in the cities and stuff like that? Because for some reason they believe that what they're doing is going to be better than the voices that they have, which is actually the complete opposite of the reason God gave us a voice. We are the only thing on creation that is like audible, that can make, like, I believe, I wouldn't be surprised if we're the one species, I don't know if it's true, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're the one species on earth that has as many different types of vocalistic sounds that we can do and make with our mouths and languages and stuff. Like, I believe, yeah, most likely, I would not be surprised. I get a feeling that, yeah, we're the one creation on earth that has more ability to actually spread a word or spread a message or actually make known anything at all. Like, that's why he gave us a voice, or else we would be like they claim we used to be, cavemen just going like the rest of the animals out there. But we didn't ever come from you know I ain't ever, well, I mean, I've known people that flung their crap at other people, but that's because they were injected or their parents were injected willingly by known or unknown substances that caused said effects that make them look as if they were de-evolving back into some kind of mental ape, but not a physical ape. Yes, that does happen, but that's not by God's design. Never was, never will be. But it was allowed by God's design, so that way free will was allowed to happen. And he had a reason to actually create something and enjoy it with himself, something that was willingly wanting to enjoy it with him and love it as much as he does forever. And oh man, I can't wait to see the beauties that it upholds. Just seeing the beauty that's still left here on earth. Realizing this year how far this world has just been corrupted, almost beyond recognition to God. Like even the land mass itself looks like a demon riding on the back of an ancient, like a dinosaur T-Rex with the one eye, weird beak looking mouth. I don't know. Looks like a couple dinosaurs all mixed together. Seriously, go to Google Earth, scroll, like minimize Earth a little bit, and go where Israel is, and like turn the earth to where I showed you on my video, like where it looks like it's where Spain is, turn it to where like America is up above it, like you go straight up and over the globe to get to like America, I think. And like look at it, looks like the land itself, even the color of it and everything, it looks like a demon riding on the back of a dinosaur. And Australia would be like its back foot. uh the arm is like, I don't know, like just look at it and you'll see what it's saying, and you roll it around and it like connects, and Alaska and America and South America like wraps around, almost kind of looks like all the land mass is like the end of South America would be like the end of its tail, and it just kind of wraps around, and it's huh, just look at it. It kind of blows your mind a little bit if like you see what I see when I look at it, and unless they go up there and in the info or whatever, like from, yeah, I just showed you on Dutch. It's yeah, just check it out. It's just insane because even the land itself has been so defiled by everything that's taken place over all these years. That's why the Lord had to come and literally shed his innocent blood himself, for all of us. It wasn't just us, all of creation to be cleansed. So, for the last phase to begin, because there was the flood. When the flood happened, that was the end of the first phase, and God shortened our lifespans, which he had to, because we weren't going to be able to survive as long as we used to anyways, because the cataclysmic events that took place during the flood, which is similar to today, only, it flooded then and it won't flood. That's why we have the rainbow, which is something that infuriates me, that has been taken and defiled beyond recognition. Like people have completely forgotten where the rainbow comes from, where the covenant with the rainbow, that he will never destroy the earth by flood again, where that was a promise to Noah, because Noah had a very, very hard time. Can you imagine being in that boat? My goodness, can you imagine being in that boat? I thought about that, and then I realized, well, if you've read the Bible, you already know. I don't have to say it. But can you imagine being in that boat, being Noah, and like you told them it was going to happen? You told them it was going to happen. And now they're outside the boat while it's happening. And you're inside with all of everything that lives upon the land that's going to survive what's happening upon the entire face of the earth. I bet you he wished he was deaf for a while. Or maybe God was gracious enough to the way he built it, and with the storm that was happening around him, he could barely hear anything. I could see God doing that. But the fact of the matter is knowing why did God do it? What for? What was the purpose? To get rid of all the destruction that was happening to all the people that didn't deserve it. All the people that did not deserve to go through such horrible things. Because when he did it, what did he get rid of? He got rid of the tares that were destroying the wheat of his beautiful garden. I mean, I know if I had thorns and thistles in my garden, I sure as heck wouldn't want them to just stick around and hang out. I mean, I don't want to mess up the wheat, but as soon as it's time to pull that son of a gun up and my wheat's going to be all right because they're done for the season, oh boy, I'll light that field on fire if I have to, just to make sure they don't go back the next year. And another thing, too, it's another thing the Lord's been having me do, and I'm pretty sure others, I've seen the survivalists out there. Oh, yeah, we come in many different shapes and sizes, guys. I don't even know if anybody can actually see this, but that's okay because I have confidence in the Lord that somebody might be able to watch us somewhere. But it's I don't know. This is me, guys. This is the real me. This isn't like a YouTube me or anything. Like I feel bad for my husband because he has to deal with this all the time, you know. But yeah, it's just my man. I'm gonna bring my tray over. I just harvested my herbs that actually grew this year, the ones that fell upon good soil. And this harvest I'm gonna show you it's my mint that grew. Well, the beginning of this year, because I live in a housing complex, and they come and they weed every spring. They do the weed killer and stuff. And hang on a second, I gotta let my dog in. But anyways, they come in and they spray the weed killer, and it was at the beginning of the year, so she did not really realize that what was growing in the front of my apartment was the mint seed that I had put down last year that had not grown. It waited, actually, a lot of the herbs I put out last year never grew last year. Excuse me, but apparently the winter did something to them. God did something to them this year. Like, I didn't plant no seed out there for herbs, and all of them grew. Well, anyways, my mint's growing, and I love mint. It's a wonderful natural thing that God's given us to help with so many different things, and it smells so wonderful. And it attracts deer, but I don't think they don't eat it. Like the deer don't eat my mint. It didn't eat my cilantro. I even had a carrot growing out back, but bunnies I hop about. One carrot survived the growing season because of where it was at. Only one spot in there it actually was able to sustain its life to fruition. But one carrot, so and no bunnies come and ate nothing. The only one I had a problem with in my garden was my dog. It's like I get everything set, everything's growing great out back here, and it's like she sees that I've done what I've done because I was digging it up by hand with a trowel because there's not a lot of area here on in the outside to do much of anything. So I've done a lot of my growing inside and then transferred um, little outside for the season and then harvest and then it's like a cycle. It's like an indoor garden that transfers outdoors. It's not really a lot, but it's enough to collect um well the next harvest and some. And some is because I was told, do an in-home garden, collect what you can, and just hold on to it for a minute. They try to tell you seeds go bad after blah blah blah. No, winter don't hurt them nothing. You can just throw them right out in the yard. Some of them will grow and stay there and live. Like here, let me show you this. Well, she sprayed the weed killer on my mint plant, and there was like a little itty bitty teeny. It was about two of them about this tall that survived that weed killer. When I realized she had Donna, I'm not joking you. I didn't care if anybody's watching. I went right over that plant and I prayed over, Lord, please, please do whatever you got to do. Don't let this mint die because I didn't have any more seed left. And it's like it was growing really nice and I wanted it to grow. I wanted it to stay. And oh boy, tell you what, it grew. And the cilantro grew and the rosemary grew. Um, it just, but yeah, here's the mint that got, let's see if I can hold up here for you. Yeah, this is the mint harvest, and this is a big cookie sheet. Mint harvest that I got this morning, and it's not even all of it. And if I was on my laptop, I'd be taking you outside with me to show you what's still left. But yeah, it just blew up. All the seed on it's just amazingly beautiful. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with all of it. I know I'm supposed to keep it. But and then here's the cilantro. And this is only just one stalk, guys. One stalk of cilantro. This is all the seed. This is a jelly jar, that you normally get at the store. It's like this is just one stalk, and I have, oh my goodness. Here. Here's the rest of it that I just took today. I still have to dry. Oh my god. Oh, can you even? Why does it look like a giant glare on my screen for? But yeah, this is like huge bush of it. I have to turn that. Maybe it's that lamp. Oh, is that light is actually from the outside onto my ceiling. That is so strange, guys, because like it is gloomy outside right now. Like being in my house looking outside, it's like the sun's covered outside. Huh. Well, that is you, Lord. Come on in. I was hoping that you'd already be in here. Maybe it's not you, just something pretending to be you. Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I think that's probably all I'm going to do for this video. You guys have a great day. God bless. And if you watch this or are watching it or watch it later, thank you for your time. And I'm praying over you. I hope and pray to God that He watches over you, protects you with His wings, fills you with His knowledge, gives you courage and peace and joy and fearlessness and a love and a zeal for Him. The gift of the Holy Spirit, knowing and discerning, the gift of discernment, gift of perseverance, faith, trust in Him wholly. Everything that God promises is a promise, and it will always be true. It will never be broken. God bless you. Godspeed.